Hi guys, Brandon Suva with First Class Garage Door of Chicagoland. Today we're going to be talking about Liftmaster's Logic 5 Elite Series model APT, which is a high traffic trolley operator designed for apartment buildings. So this unit comes standard, half horsepower with solenoid brake in a single phase 115 230 volt configuration. There's no options. So if you don't have single phase, if you have three-phase power, this isn't going to be the operator for you. Unless you want to run single phase out, then you can. If your door is bigger than what Liftmaster recommends for their half horsepower motor, unfortunately you're not going to be able to use the APT. So we'll bring the camera in, we'll go over some of the mechanical features of this operator that allows it to do the high traffic applications. Alright, so here we have the solenoid brake, the 5L V-belt for the primary reduction, which then goes through the friction clutch. Our secondary reduction is number 41 roller chain. Both the primary and secondary input shafts utilize these roller bearings, which contribute to the high cycle nature of this operator, or ability of this operator. On the output shaft rather, if you can see, these are industrial ball bearings. Here's the back side of one. The output shaft on this utilizes a number 48 roller chain. Here we have another number 48 roller chain which drives the limit shaft, and we'll spin this around and give you a view of the other side. Alright, so here we have our third reduction, which is done through another number 41 roller chain. Here we have our electrical conduit for motor power and brake solenoid. What separates this unit from the Model T, the regular trolley unit, are the bearings as well as these vibration isolators. So if you notice, this motor is like on a cradle. It is sitting on a rubber like bushing. This reduces the amount of vibration that gets transmitted from the motor into the frame of the operator and up the angle iron hangs into your ceiling of your building, as well as reduces some of the vibration that travels down the opener rail, which mounts to the header, and which is generally a structural part of the building. So you will get vibration that transmits through there into the building and creates noise. So that's pretty much it on the APT. I will say that these industrial ball bearings, the industrial ball bearings on the output shaft of this model APT is kind of what limits its abilities and lifespan. So just one thing to consider if you do have an extremely high traffic or high traffic demands. There are other options, and we'll get into that in a second. So there's a close-up of the Liftmaster's model APT. Alright, so I did just want to throw these up here. So here's the APT and here's the standard Model T, just so you can see the difference. So same thing, they both have the industrial ball bearings on the output shaft. This is a half horsepower Model T, so this also uses the number 48 output sprocket. The half horse Model T does not come standard with the solenoid brake, but it is optional. The Model APT does come standard with solenoid brake. Here we have the roller bearings, and this one also has more stages of reduction, whereas the standard Model T, you have your primary reduction on the V-belt and your secondary with the number 41 roller chain, bronze oil impregnated bushings on the input shaft, and again industrial ball bearings on the output shaft. Whereas the Model APT, you have your primary, your secondary, and your third means of reduction. So very similar, but again, roller bearings, solenoid brake standard, vibration isolation standard, whereas the standard Model T, the motor mounts rigid to the frame, therefore you do tend to get more vibration. Alright, so again, the Model APT Great unit for high traffic applications. Liftmaster rates it at 100 plus cycles per day. They do not put an hourly rating on it. I wouldn't necessarily say that means that you can run it as much as you want, but it will take some abuse. It's a great operator. We got a bunch of them installed in the field. They've done well for us. Again, the only downside to this operator is the industrial ball bearings, or are the industrial ball bearings on the output shaft. If you do have extremely high cycle demands, Liftmaster does make the HCT DCU operator. It's a door and gate operator, overhead gate operator. That unit is made to run continuously, non-stop, all day, as many times as you can run it, and they test them to 1 million plus cycles in the factory. So just an alternative if you do have serious traffic, seriously high traffic demands, and you're looking for something that's quiet. It's also a DC operator, soft start, soft stop, but we'll get into that. If you have questions regarding what type of operator you need, motor size, voltage requirements, usage, we do have a video on selecting the right commercial door operator. We'll put a link in the video. We'll also throw a link in the video to the Model T as well as the Model HCT DCU once we get a video up for that one. If we missed anything, if you're interested in learning about any of the electronics or anything, check out our video on Logic 5. We'll go over everything on the control boards and that. As of now, we don't have anything up, but we will have it, and when we do, we'll put a link in the description. If we missed anything, if you have any questions, please let us know. If you liked the video, if you found it informative, please give us a thumbs up. And if you're interested in seeing more, please subscribe to our channel. And as always, we appreciate you taking the time to watch the video, and we'll see you on the next one.